Joke, no joke, no joke. Oh, you know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Woo! Baby. Tonight is going to be one of those ones, baby. Oh, ho, 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 ho. You want to share this video? You want to hit the like button? If you new to the channel, you want to subscribe tonight. Man, oh man, oh man. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Y'all have no clue how it's going down tonight. Choke, no joke, baby. I am in the building. This one is going to be for the books. Woo! 50 going to feel real goofy putting his name on that documentary. Oh, he going to feel so goofy for putting his name on that documentary with what I'm about to drop tonight, man. Oh, man. Man, 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 man. Are y'all ready for this one? Are y'all ready for this one? I don't think y'all ready for this one. Because little did we know. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say little did we know. Because we knew that the feds was investigating the labels, Bad Boy, definitely Death Row, for drug trafficking, gun running, right? We knew that, right? Or it was stated that. We know that the FBI files are sealed, and they opened up some of them. A lot of it was redacted, in the Tupac case, in the Biggie case. We also know that they was tailing them guys. And we also know that, like in the Biggie case, all these pictures popped up of the scene in video, right? But then they act like they don't know who did the killing. Well, the same way in the Biggie case, how they was following them and they had video of the shooting of Biggie, right? How did y'all know? How many of y'all have y'all known that the Tupac shooting got captured on video by them people? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that that shooting with the white Cadillac was captured on video? Yeah, it was. It sure was. Yes, it was. And I got so much more information that I'm gonna drop tonight. We see your boy over there, Porky, still lying. Yeah, 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 yeah. They just ain't released the whole files. But little did y'all know that was captured on video by them boys. But you know what? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Choke no joke, you already know. Let's get to the show.
Jack Brown, you know what it is. Keep on hating, you know what it is. Never did I think hip hop go this far. Never did I think I see Diddy behind bars or kills, penitentiary scars. The Man Act, is it going too far? Back, y'all industry rats, y'all whack. That's 100 on Pyro. You'll be trapped like Pac. The go viral. Gene saw the nuts at gyro. At the freak off and Diddy too. But plug shopper, free door stopper. Nigga, you don't know if you a criminal or a cop. But you're next to be locked. Ask Keefe D. Telling on yourself on Vlad TV. You dumb nigga, right? You'll never be me. And I never be you too. Telling on you too. Yeah, sitting on the step, giving up myself. What the fuck I look like? My name G-Dap. Comb legacy doom. Will the bad boy see time like loan? Your extortion fell through. You friend to no one, like the moon. What did you do? Sat back and watch him get groomed. Only badge in the room. You and wifey drunk the juice. Saw the check for Pac's life. And his back right. Guess it's bad boy for life. Or should I say same gang? You the same lane. That did he let hang. And now he chain gang. Damn, you rocked him, fella. Didn't you? For the mozzarella. Did it for Wolf and his mother. D-Fur and Kerborough. Nah, nigga, you did it cause your ass ain't thorough. And you ain't from the boroughs. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. This one's for the whole earth. You know, when they get disrespectful, I just go to the booth and kick the truth to the young black youth. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is.
Choke no joke. We in the building. You already know. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Y'all know what it is. Choke no joke. We in the building. All right. I see I got a block a hater already. You know what I mean? The Tunnel documentary is out right now. Make sure y'all get that. You know what I mean? Support your brother. I'm gonna drop the link for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Share this show because it's gonna be one for the books. I'm telling you. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this one up. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this one up. This is gonna be one of those ones, boy. So hit your favorite YouTuber, watcher. 50 Cent, you need to be in here. Because I'm about to blow your head off too. Pause. Here go the link for the Tunnel documentary. Make sure y'all check that out. It's out now, all digital platforms. All right. Choke no joke. Make sure you share this right now because I'm about to get into it right after this.
Choke no joke. Yeah. It's choke no joke. Let's go. Choke no joke. Chicken choke no joke. Choke no joke. Niggas choke no joke.
What up, y'all? It's Arthur D. Austin, better known as Choke No Joke. We out here at the legendary Tunnel nightclub, or at least where it used to be. Everybody asks me what's the Tunnel. The Tunnel was a nightclub that was owned in the 90s here by Peter Gaetian. In 94, Stress Entertainment started a party called Mecca. In 96, Franchise Entertainment took it over and they had it until it closed. All the biggest names in hip hop perform here, from Jay-Z, Meth and Red, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Nas, Puff Daddy and the Family, Eve, you name it, they was all here. If you had heart, you came here. But everybody didn't have heart. So it's time for y'all to enter the club most people feared to enter, the Tunnel.
The Tunnel wasn't a unique hip-hop club, and its foundations were based on the concept of bringing hip-hop from all the boroughs to one location. And it was the brainchild of Peter Gaetian. My name is Sterling Cox. I was the head of security.
Alpha Grinion, Brooklyn, New York.
My name is V.
House.
Sincere from Brooklyn.
Glenn Beck.
Jumping Lee, whatever Lee you want to call me.
Omega.
Ray Mack.
Diamond,
Craig.
Candy,
Big Box. Big Country.
Ramona Diaz,
Big Petta. Big CB. John Bass Raleigh.
Sean Brophy, sound engineer.
DJ Johnny Walker Red.
MC Frank Jigger, the celebrity's choice.
Choke No Joke, legendary videographer.
Supreme Bigger Figure, Big Cap, The War End.
Big G, AKA the ringleader.
The Tunnel was a hip-hop nucleus.
It was the epicenter.
It was the domain, the temple.
It was the Mecca.
It was like the hip-hop Woodstock.
Nothing was that melting pot of hip-hop.
They kept the paradigm going.
It's almost like what Rucker did for like street basketball. The Tunnel was that of music industry.
Hip-hop had a heart. That shit was one of the main arteries.
It was actually a Mecca. That's what the original name of the party was, Mecca.
It was like a time machine. That's how the Tunnel was. You came out a whole different individual.
We went in there, young men with attitudes, and came out there wiser men with our lives.
It was definitely a starting beginning spot for artists to come and mingle and branch out and get your record heard and get your shit together, really, to go into the next phase of your career.
The Tunnel was not open or did not open. A lot of new artists, or a lot of artists that we know now to this very day will have never been known.
All these artists out today need to be happy that the Tunnel was fucking open. Nobody would hear none of y'all singing tight pants niggas right now. The Tunnel was a platform for niggas like Jay and Puff, Wu and Mob and DMX and Rough Riders. Niggas don't respect these niggas today, man. You need to realize, man, without them niggas, man, and their platform, it made a lot of moves for niggas today.
It happened there, it made it relevant.
Became a pillar of hip hop.
The Tunnel is the nucleus of hip hop And I'll say all the way down south, because when the tunnel was open, wasn't too much going on down that motherfucker. Y'all can say what y'all want, east of the south, but New York made the shit pop. New York was where it's at. The tunnel in New York is where you needed to be to pop.
The tunnel was definitely a hip-hop nucleus, yo. It was just like the galaxy and bring other planets in. You have people from France, Germany, London, everywhere. If they came to New York, they had to go to the tunnel.
Hi, from here. I come here to meet you, and I'm going to all the place. I'm going to the Bronx, to Sedgwick Avenue with Cool Hook, to the party and Cedar, and then I'm going to the tunnel.
It was our barometer for, how we were really gauging records, and we were really, studying the behavior of the consumer.
It ain't just like how they do it now. You could just throw a record out and, wait 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever for the shit to bubble. Niggas was putting them records on to see if them shits get that reaction. And if the shit was popping, niggas would fast track it. If it wasn't, niggas would go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. It's the definition of hip-hop nucleus. Everything was there.
Everything that surrounded hip-hop, from fashion to music, hairstyles.
Like, it encompassed every part of the hip-hop experience, and they put it all in one building on a Sunday night.
If you go as far back to little hole in the walls and little, centers where people start elaborating, playing the sounds and displaying the culture, to within later on you have places that was up in Harlem, like Harlem World, up in the Bronx called T Connection, just using them as an example, of many other places all throughout the city. And then years later, here come places like Union Square and Latin Quarters. The last of the Mohegans of for real hip hop had became the tunnel.
Tunnel was definitely a hip hop nucleus. It really was. And you gotta say, believe it or not, the wagon master was a one-eyed white guy from Canada, Peter Gation.
Nothing will ever be like the tunnel.
That Tunnel documentary is out right now. You can stream that on Tubi. Right here on YouTube, it's Stash Movies. I just dropped the link for that. Amazon Prime, Apple TV. It is what it is. Support your boy. Go watch that tonight after the show. I'd appreciate it. But let's get to it. 50 Cent dropped a documentary, with this chick, Alex, and they made a lot of accusations in that. Matter of fact, that I'm going to address tonight. I'm going to go live on YouTube, Instagram as well. But yeah, y'all. Oh boy. So, yeah. Little did we know that the whole thing was captured on video. And if you got a third eye, we kind of know why. There hasn't been any arrest. We know why. If you got a third eye, even though they try to put it on Orlando Anderson, why he didn't get arrested. If he did it, because if this was just some street nigga-ish, somebody would have been arrested a long time ago. Instagram, I'm live on YouTube. Y'all could go on my story and come on to the show if you would like to. Once again, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to my girl Ramona, always supporting my man Paul. My man Verse, shout out to him. You know, the people that still support, I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Choke no joke, we in the building. So it's been a lot of lies told in this Tupac case, right? Shout out CC Crippen for Team B. I see y'all. All right, the Observer Thoughts in the building. What up? My fellow Americans, first in the building. All right. It's that Terror Red Man. Second in the building. What up to you? Divine in the building. What up to you? Michelle Frizzy, I see you. You know, I ain't gonna get into a bunch of shout outs. I'm gonna jump right into this. Right? So there's a lot that I want to cover tonight, right? But since, you know, the boy 50 Cent, you know, he out here scared to death of Fab. 50 shook, scared to death, scared to look, to get in that booth. I think he probably sitting down with Eminem right now trying to get some bars. Everybody, and then you got all these suckers out here. You know, 50 too big to be rapping and going in the battle with them. Shut up. You sound like a clown. That's what he do. That is the nigga that went when he was hot and destroyed New York, going at everybody from New York. You don't remember Fat Joe and them on clickety clank, clickety clank. Niggas can't stop my piggy bank. You don't remember all those diss records? Going at Jada and everybody. Now, for some reason, he too big. Y'all sound like planners eaters. Y'all just over here cracking nuts. That boy scared because he ain't in his bag no more. He done got too far from the streets and don't know what to do. You know what I mean? But that's a whole other story, right? So 50 go out here and he put out this documentary with Netflix. You know, in the first episode, he's sitting there talking about how, you know, Diddy paid Keefe D and paid the Crips to he put a hit out on Suge and Tupac. And we all, you know, a lot of us believe that narrative back until we realized how much of a liar Greg Caden was, right? I even believed it at one point. But as time goes on, the more research you do, the more information you find out, and then your theory changes. You know what I'm saying? If you a smart investigator, uh you don't what's the word I'm looking for? You don't stick to one theory because you don't want to change what you said. You know what I'm saying? If you come into some new information and your thoughts change, then you say it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hopefully the people bear with you and they understand why your points and view changes, right? But before I get into all the everything I'm gonna get into, you know, if you seen at the start of the show, you know, allegedly, I'm gonna say, them boys, the alphabet boys, caught the shooting on camera. You know, I played a little clip at the beginning. You know, allegedly, that's the boys catching it on camera, right? But getting back to 50 and him doing this documentary saying that Diddy hired Keefe D to put a hit out on Tupac. I just want 50 Cent to see something here. Instagram, I'm live on YouTube. If you want to see what's on the screen, go on my stories, hit that link to say I'm live. It'll bring you right to the show. All right. And if you just know my YouTube channel, Choke No Joke, off the D. Austin III, just come to the channel if you subscribe, because I'm live right now. Right? So, 50. By now, somebody has sent you this link. You know what I mean? Stunner Vision, what up? Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. Love the support. Thank you. All right. So, 50, if you watch it, what you should be now, because I know by now somebody done sent this to you. You know, you need people like me in your corner to do some research for you and help you out with this if you're going to be trying to tell a story that you just jumped in and don't really know all the details too, right? So for all y'all out there that was running with the narrative, listening to 50 or the documentary, no, Keefe D said that Diddy hired them to put a hit out. Diddy hired them to do this hit on Tupac and Suge. I keep telling y'all, if you watch Keefe D's interviews, the boy be lying, right? And the reason he been lying is because allegedly they caught him with some drugs and they was offering him 20 years. So he said whatever Gray Caden in them allegedly, right? Serenade, good looking. All right. Appreciate it. He said what he had to say, so he didn't get them 20 years. And we all know, well, I ain't gonna say we all know, us intelligent ones that's been following the story long enough know that they did whatever they had to do to cover up the alleged police involvement in these cases, the Biggie and the Tupac, right? Now, Pork Butt more recently came out of the from under a rock, sounding like he hooked up to a breathing machine. I don't know what's going on with that dude, right? He might have the flu, I don't know. But he came out recently and told me, oh man, niggas talking about Rafael Perez and David McInerney was in the office, man. That nigga Joe Cool, he just saying that nigga was on drugs, right? He tried to put Joe Cool off as some type of junkie or whatever. They ain't know what he's talking about. But that don't stop the fact that C Styles said it, right? That he saw Perez and Mac up there, right? That don't stop the fact that Trey D from the East Siders said that he saw Perez and Mac up in Death Row. That don't stop the fact that Layla said she seen him around Death Row, right? That don't stop the fact that Suge Knight, and this nigga talking about, oh, Suge wouldn't know none of my officers by name. He might know them by face, but he might not know. Reggie, stop lying, bro. You already caught. And you just make it worse when you sit there and lie. Talking about, oh, Joe Cool's not credible when you was begging him to come on bond first. Right? Now, he's not credible and he was on drugs. So, Trey D's on drugs? Big C Styles on drugs? Jimmy Iovine, who also said he's seen him around Death Row, is on drugs? Chief Bernard Parks, who said they worked for Death Row is on drugs? Huh? Who else? Didn't Sharita say that Kevin Gaines did security for Snoop? She on drugs? So keep lying all you want. It ain't going to save you, brother. Your lies, people are hipped on, right? What they should be asking is how you still get a police pension when you retired from the Compton PD and then went and was selling drugs. That's what people should be asking. How does Reggie still get paid by the government when this nigga's a convicted drug dealer? And he told the Compton PD he couldn't work but turned around and was working right at Death Row doing the same goddamn thing. That's what they should be asking. How does Reggie still get money from the government? When he told them he retired, he couldn't walk it because his feet was jacked up or whatever, but he was still doing security and running around with Suge Knight in them and was selling drugs. How you getting paid, Reggie? How you living right now? Off the government? Or you getting food stamps? How do you go to jail for selling drugs? You and your dad get indicted and you still get money from the government. Very interesting. Y'all niggas is connected. You are connected. But let me get to Keefe D for a second, right? So 50, you believe that Keefe D, Puff hired Keefe D to do this hit on Pac and Suge, right? You do? Well, let me play something here under fair use, courtesy of my man, the Art of Dialogue, right? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, common news, reporting, teacher scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And I will be using this content under fair use to criticize, comment, and news reporting, as well as research in the Tupac Shakur assassination, right? So 50, you believe that Diddy hired Keefe D, right, to put out a hit on Suge and Tupac? Well, 50, I'm going to let you hear from Keefe D himself, okay? You tell me what he said, 50.
Puffy, he approached you on 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge?
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Kane. He want to make what he, just like he had me a little fat dude sagging.
Uh, 50. Did you hear that? That's Greg Caden. False narrative. Lies. So if you believed all that stuff you played in murder rap, here's the man telling you himself, 50, that was a lie. That was all made up by Greg Caden.
Suge?
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Kane. He want to.
I'm not mistaken, Puffy, he approached you on 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge?
No. He never approached me about that. That's great.
On 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge?
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Hayden. He want to make it's like he had me a little fat dude, sagging, a little gang member, you know what I'm saying? Wearing khakis and shit. Never was dressed like that. You wouldn't even know we was gang members if you seen us, you know what I'm saying? He stereotyped our ass. To me, all that show was a bunch of bullshit. It's like the dog with the gun in the mouth. That was a bunch of bullshit, all that.
The dog with the gun in the mouth. Y'all remember that? Where that gun that Fatal had at the House of Blues. Y'all remember that? The gun Fatal had at the House of Blues, right? That he got taken away from him, trying to sneak it in the House of Blues. And the cop that took it, sent it to Santa Monica police and told them they could get the gun back if it wasn't dirty. They sent the gun into Santa Monica Police Department. They ran it for ballistics. It came back clean. The cop gave the gun back to Reggie, right? Then when Reggie got caught up in his deposition, they was asking him, well, what happened to that gun? Well, we know the dirty nigga never gave it back to Reggie. I mean, gave Fatal back his gun. Reggie kept the gun. And this is when Kevin Hackey is around, and little did they know he was undercover working for the ATF and the feds, right? Reggie keeps the gun, right? Reggie keeps the gun and then talk about he threw the gun in the water, right? In the Bahamas. But then later, Reggie comes back and says, oh, he gave the gun to his father, and his father put it in the Compton evidence locker. Why would you give your father a gun to put in the Compton evidence locker? And those is two different jurisdictions. Then that gun mysteriously pops up in Corey Edwards' backyard. They said the dog dug the gun up. I don't know when a dog smells metal and digs it up. Not like it's a bone or food. He smells metal. Digs up a gun and is running around the yard with the gun in his mouth. And then they find the gun. Bobby Ladd and them, who also works for Reggie's father, right, at the time. They get the gun, and ironically, this same gun that that got took from Fatal, that Reggie went and kept his gun, tells 2 different stories about it. Once he threw it in the water in the Bahamas, he got rid of it. The other story in the deposition is he gave it to his father, and his father put it in the Compton evidence locker. Then you got Tim Brennan or Bobby Ladd, one of the others. They see the gun in the Compton evidence locker. They go and they look and they see where it came from. They go and they do a ballistic check on it. And it comes back as the gun that kills Tupac. So how does Fatal gun that got taken at the House of Blues, that got ran ballistic, was clean, get given to Reggie, and then after Tupac gets killed, Reggie says that gun, he threw it in the water in the Bahamas. Then he also says that he gave it to his dad and he booked it into the Compton evidence locker. And then Brennan and Ladd, one or the other, they find the gun in the evidence locker. They see that it was found in Corey Edwards' backyard. They run a ballistics check on it, and it comes back as the gun that killed Tupac. Then they say they give the gun to Vegas, and Vegas says, nah, this ain't the gun. So how did the Compton police, who are nowhere in Vegas, they ain't got no jurisdiction in Vegas, but they found the gun that killed Tupac in Compton's evidence locker, the same 40 Glock that allegedly that Fatal had. Make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. Now these are the same guys that work for Reggie's dad, right? And Reggie's dad is the one that is ironically, when Orlando got killed, is the first one at the scene. And then they say Orlando gave a dying declaration saying that he killed Tupac after he claimed he had nothing to do with Tupac being killed the whole time. His whole life that he was alive, he said he didn't have nothing to do with Tupac being killed, and he felt like he was being used or set up, and he was a patsy, right? But when Reggie dad finds Orlando shot up, he gives a dying declaration. I killed Tupac. And then he died. Like he knew him being shot up, he wouldn't go to the hospital and get patched up and been all right. There's people that have been shot up 10 times and still lived. So you telling me he got shot, and just because he got shot, he gave this dying declaration saying that he killed Tupac when his whole time he was alive for the 2 years after the shooting, he never claimed that he did it. Now, getting back to 50 Cent, if you didn't hear him, 50, I'll bring it back for you. He was asked a question. Did Diddy ask y'all or hire y'all to do something to Pac and Suge? And Keefe D says,
No, he never approached me about that. That's Greg Hayden. He want to make what he just like.
Puffy, he approached you on 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge.
No, he never approached me about that. That's Greg Hayden. He want to.
Right, about pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge.
No, he never approached me about that. That's Greg Hayden. He want to.
well, 50, you could take that out your documentary on Netflix. Because that's from Lying As Greg Caden, the guy that forged the statement for Poochie, a black guy. He knows how a black guy talks, a black guy he never met, right? But he was able to write a statement for this black guy he never met. And then know that this woman was lying, Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins, knew she was lying about this statement and let her go free, just like he let Keefe D go free for the drugs, as long as he agreed to say whatever he needed him to say about that Tupac and Biggie stuff. Now, let me get into some deep stuff for y'all, right? Now, if you did not know, the Tupac estate sued Orlando Anderson and Jerry Monk Barnes, who they said Jerry Monk Barnes had a white Cadillac and drove it into this body shop on White in the laundry, right? Now, Corey Edwards said that if they were accusing Barnes, they were wrong because his Cadillac was a late 80s model. And they saying that the Cadillac was a newer model, right? And we know the Cadillac was a newer model, right? Here go the Cadillac right here. But we're going to get back to that, right? Because little did they know it was caught on camera, right? Now, Orlando Anderson never filed a report with the police, nor did he say that he got jumped on, right? That's just for one. Corey Edwards gave a statement saying that he saw Orlando Anderson after the incident at the bar, and Orlando told him everything was cool. Corey Edwards also said that Orlando didn't seem to be upset about the incident at all. And we see him over there in that corner with the police. He wasn't, yeah. He was just cool, calm, and collected, right? And we know Corey Edwards ain't had no problem with Suge and none of them because he went and met with Reggie and I believe it was Sergeant Reynolds allegedly with Keefe D, and they gave him $60,000 to go testify on Suge's behalf. Right? Now, Corey Edwards said that Orlando didn't even seem to be upset, right? But you let them tell it. Oh, he wanted smoke. He went and jumped in the car and was looking for them dudes and woo, right? Let's say that all was staged. Right? Hypothetically, who out of everybody in the entourage would know about all the cameras in the MGM? Suge, right? Because he went to UNLV. And if you heard him tell the story, when he went to school, they took them and showed them the security system and where all the cameras was way back when he was in school. So he would have known that they was caught on camera. And like he said, when in his trial for the violation, not his trial, his probation violation, that he knew where the cameras was and everything. That's why he tried to stop the fight, because he knew that they would be on camera. Right? Now, all y'all that don't believe that Tupac was leaving death row. Now, we know technically Tupac wasn't signed to death row because he was signed to Interscope, right? But he was able to do I forgot what they call that word. What's the word they call that? Amendment deal with Interscope and Death Row for the 3 albums to put the Death Row logo on his album, right? And we know that Interscope is the one that put up the money to bail him out, you know, they just wanted Suge, I guess, to monitor Tupac or whatever, and that's how they got the 3 deals with the Death Row logo on the project, right? Now, several people done said Tupac was leaving Death Row. From Layla to Gobi to Virginia Slim to the Outlaws. I can't think of everybody right now, right? But even his lawyer at the time, who was Charles Ogletree, told Connie Brook that Tupac had an exit strategy to leave Death Row, right? He had to play it off and be cool with Suge, but separate his business from Suge, you know what I'm saying, so that he could leave in one piece. Then he fired David Kenner and he fired Reggie. And the word on the street is allegedly, him firing David Kenner was dangerous in itself, right? Now, even Kadada said that Tupac was planning to sign with Warner Brothers and move out of the house that Death Row was paying for, allegedly, right? And was going to move with her to another home and to another area. Because she said allegedly, I have to say allegedly. I know y'all say I say allegedly too much, but, for legal reasons, you have to say these things if you wasn't in the room. She said that Tupac was uneasy about going to Vegas that weekend, right? Now, here's the thing a lot of people don't know. After Pac got bailed out, allegedly, he caught another charge, right? And for him catching that charge, y'all remember, you hear the story about Tupac having to do community service. That's why he went to Club 66. He was going to perform at Club 662 for that retired Las Vegas officer and former boxer police officer Patrick Barry, right? Because it was a charity event to raise money for Patrick Barry's gym, right? Now think about it. You think Tupac would have been going to perform for the police? Right? You think Tupac would have been going to perform for the police? Pac caught a charge, allegedly, and with the charge he caught, David Kenner got his case moved to Vegas, right? By him getting his case moved to Vegas, he was able to negotiate a deal for Pac, and he had to do community service because in Los Angeles, he'd have been dealing with the 3-strike rule, right? So they moved the case to Vegas and they got him community service. And this is why Pac had to show up to go to Vegas and do the charity event because it was part of his community service. Look it up, right? Now, let's talk about Pork Butt, Reggie and them, right? And how he took Michael Moore off of Tupac, who had just who was doing security for Tupac in Milan for Fashion Week, right? Now, I just heard this nigga say the other day, right, that he put Michael Moore on Tupac. I mean, he took Michael Moore off Tupac for him so he could go watch the register at Club 662 because Michael Moore was a no nonsense type of guy. And he know if nobody wanted to pay the $50, that Michael Moore would make them go out and get back on the line. Reggie, stop lying. And then he had the nerve to say that he said that because he sent Michael Moore over to Club 662 because he had Hackey and Frank on Tupac. We all know that Hackey was not there. So why are you still lying? So just 2 days ago, Reggie says that he put Michael Moore on the register at Club 662 because he was a no-nonsense type of guy. No, you put Michael Moore on the register because he didn't want to give up his gun. And when y'all had that meeting, Reggie, David Kenner, George Kalisis, right? When y'all had that meeting and told dudes they couldn't carry their guns, Michael Moore wasn't having it. So that's why you sent Michael Moore over to Club 662 because he wasn't giving up his gun. And you saw him out. You did that because Frank and Kevin Hackey were working security on Tupac. That's a lie because we all know Kevin Hackey wasn't in Vegas, right? And why wasn't Kevin Hackey in Vegas? Because you fired him, Reggie. Why did you fire Kevin Hackey for that weekend for him not to show up in Vegas? Because you found out that Hackey got paid $10,000 for doing security on the set of Gang Related, and you fired Hackey because you felt like the money was supposed to go to Right Way Security. Which I agree with you, Reggie. I agree with you on that. If he works for your security company and you book him to go do Gang Related, but then again, you could have been fired. This is why he kept the 10 grand. Because if Pac fired Kevin Hackey, then that money don't go to you unless you booked it before. I don't know. But let's just say for the sake of being fair, if he was working for Right Way Security and doing security on gang-related protecting, doing security for Tupac, yes, you were supposed to get that 10 grand. But the fact is, you fired Kevin Hackey. That's why he wasn't in Vegas. And that weekend, he was working at the Compton School District. And we know this. So how could you sit there and say that Hackey was working with Frank in Vegas when you know for a fact he was not there? Yeah, I hope that KVD's defense is getting your lives and keeping them. Because if they didn't save that live from the other day with you lying, saying that Joe Cool was a junkie and this, that, and the third, he wouldn't know if Perez and them was up there. Like if they don't know all that is a lie, and then if they don't know that Kevin Hackey wasn't even in Vegas, then they gonna lose this case. But the fact that you sit there and lie and lie and lie and contradict yourself, but Vegas got you leading the grand jury and testifying against Keefe D, it goes to show me either this whole thing is a cover up and them people are involved in this cover up, because I don't know how your federal convicted felony ass is leading this investigation for Vegas as dirty as you are. You literally just said the other day that Frank and Kevin Hackey were working security on Tupac, and you know that Hackey wasn't there. Now, let's get to the fight. We know Frank and Tupac was together the night of the fight. We know Frank and Tupac went to the fight and was waiting on Suge. And Tupac was mad because Suge was late. And they was about to leave, and then Suge showed up with the tickets. And then they went into the fight together. Suge and Pac sat next to each other. And we all know the fight only lasted 90 goddamn seconds. And then they headed out to fight. Right? And then Pac wanted to go see Mike Tyson. They went to go see Mike Tyson. And before Tupac could see Mike Tyson, after he led the whole crew back there, right? After a few minutes, Suge told them that they had to leave, allegedly. Right? Grabbed Pac and said, yo, we got to leave. And they left out and ran right into Orlando Anderson. And from sources that say Tupac was mad and told Suge, yo, I got to see the nigga Mike. I got to talk to Mike. I ain't never see Mike after. I never left without seeing Mike after the fight. He told him, yo, we got to go. Grab Pac and say, yo, we got to go. And what do? They go and they run right into the Orlando Anderson thing, right? Trayvon run over to Pac, whisper in his ear, and Pac staring at Orlando while he whispering in his ear. And then Pac takes off and jumps on Orlando, and then they all go jump on him. Then what happened after that? They went back to the Luxor. And they went to Suge's house. And according to sources, Tupac wanted to drive his Hummer with Frank and the Outlaws, but Suge told Pac he had to ride with him because they had business to discuss. Even when you hear Frank tell that story, he said he went to go get in the back of the BMW, and Suge told him, no. Go ride, go, you can't ride with us. We got some business to discuss. And then Pac told Frank, yo, drive Kadada car with the little homies. All this is documented. And then what happens? They leave, they get pulled over by the police on the bicycles. Allegedly because their music was too loud. They don't pull Pac out the car and search him. Only Suge get pulled out the car. Right? Now, one thing that a lot of people a lot of people don't talk about, but it's common knowledge because you see it. Suge had a walkie-talkie that night in the car. If you look in the car, you see the walkie-talkie. Not only did Suge have a walkie-talkie, if you look at the video of them coming out of the MGM Grand, Buntry got a walkie-talkie. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Here we go, right here. Watch this. Change the speed up. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. Okay. Now watch this. Y'all see it? So there was walkie-talkies for the homeboys and Suge, as well as now remember, they said they was 3 different channels. It was the channels for Reggie and them, and there was another channel for the homeboy security, and then there was another channel for some other security, right? But as you can see, even Buntree had a walkie-talkie. Okay? Now, let's just talk about Buntree for a minute. Rest in peace, right? Now, Compton legend says that Buntree was killed because he witnessed a dude killed in Lincoln Memorial Park Cemetery, allegedly. Because of he remember allegedly, like in uh, Menace to Society, how a dude had the videotape, and they was watching a videotape of a killing, right? They saying that this dude who got killed, who had a gun that allegedly shot Officer Brian Watts in the carjacking, this dude named Aaron Heffen, he got killed over in Lincoln Memorial Park Cemetery, and allegedly Pork Butt had something to do with that killing, and allegedly they found Pork Butt's handcuffs on the guy when they killed him in the cemetery. So allegedly, Buntree had that tape and was having a viewing party of the killing. And that's why, ironically, Buntree got killed and was in Pork Butt's car. Right? Now, there's several stories to this. Some people say that Pork Butt pulled up in the gas station with Buntree in the car, and then some dudes came and killed him, and Pork Butt went running. Then there's another story where they saying that Pork Butt father drove Buntree to the gas station, went in the gas station, and then dudes came and killed him, right? All that is alleged. I don't know, right? But that is the story in Compton, right? And why this dude, Vince Edward Buchanan, who was 34, the black dude that he got killed on April 27, 2000, after being shot in Compton. Say Vince was a pyro who was tortured by people dressed in police uniforms. He was handcuffed, and they finished him on video. Ironically, he was abducted in a Cadillac, and this was a crime that was caught on video. Allegedly, Buntree was said to had that video and was having a viewing party, which is the reason why he was allegedly killed, right? Allegedly, Reggie Wright Jr. was a suspect in the killing of Vince because they said that they found Reggie cuffs on Vince when they found him in Lincoln Memorial Park Cemetery. This is why they're alleging that Reggie lined up Buntree. But you can ask Marv James and people like that about that folk tale. That's all alleged, but that's what they said, right? And rest in peace to who the dude Vince Buchanan. Now, the other thing is Vlad and them lying about Wolf killed Witchgorlick. Allegedly, it was a dude named Jason Brown, who the guy is who allegedly killed Jake, not Wolf. But if you go and you watch, what's his name? Mark Curry and his boy tell a whole story. It was the Jamaican dude, and I believe this is public record. It ain't no secret, but Wolf didn't do it, right? But that's the whole bullshit story about why the whole East Coast West Coast thing started. But here's the most interesting thing, right? Did y'all know that allegedly, because I wasn't there, The reason why Keefe D is telling all these stories, one is to get out of doing the time for the drugs. But the reason why he went on the BET Chronicles and told that story, that was all set up allegedly by Greg Caden. They got Keefe D to go up there and tell that story. And guess how much money Keefe D got? $150,000 to do that interview on the BET Chronicles. Now, would you get up there live for $150,000 and escape a bit if this is what they tell you to do? Because if you go back and listen to Keefe D, what did he say when he was asked?
On Tupac and Suge.
No. He never approached me about that.
Different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Puffy. If I'm not mistaken, Puffy, he approached you on 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge.
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Caden. He's one of
Different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge.
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Caden. He's want to make what just like he had me a little fat dude, sagging, little gang member, you know what I'm saying? Wearing khakis and shit. Never was dressed like that.
On 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit.
Oh, so yeah. But he didn't have no problem with that.
Puffy. If I'm not mistaken, Puffy, he approached you on 3 different occasions, right? About pitting the hit on Tupac and Suge.
No. He never approached me about that. That's Greg Caden. He's want to make what he
Y'all sit there and listen to Greg Caden, and you listen to these lies. So you want to believe Keefe D now, or you want to believe him back then? He's still telling 2 different stories, right? So when you go to court, when he go to court, what you think is going to happen? You think he's going to look credible? Now, here's the other thing that they don't mention. That task force that was set up with Greg Caden and Darren Dupree, do y'all know that also Tim Brennan, who worked for Reggie Rice Sr., that's Blondie, was a part of that task force? You don't think that's a conflict of interest? How is a cop that worked for Reggie's dad on the task force with Greg Caden and Darren Dupree, right? In the Biggie and Tupac killing when Reggie is a suspect? How does that work? How is Tim Brennan, Gray Caden, and Darren Dupree working together on solving the Tupac? Well, they was initially put on the Biggie case, right? If Reggie Wright Jr. is the suspect in the Biggie case, right? How is Tim Brennan, a guy that worked for Reggie's father, a part of this task force called Wrap It Up? Somebody tell me how that makes sense. That don't make sense. And then when they interviewed Keefe D, remember Reggie, they went to Reggie first, Gray Caden. And Reggie told him Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for not getting their money for Tupac. And then when he doubled back on to Reggie, Reggie told him, oh, it was Poochie. Suge hired Poochie to kill him. How is Tim Brennan working on the Wrap It Up task force when Reggie father was his boss? Hold on 1 second, Instagram. Don't go nowhere. You want to see another lie that Keefe D told? Who did Keefe D say was in the car with Zip in Vegas? Do anybody know? Can anybody tell me in the comments? I'll post it. I'll post it on the screen if you get it right. Thank you, CC Crippen. Well, that is another lie Keefe D told. You know why? Look where Foxy was. In Mississippi on the Keith Sweat tour, doing the show with with Nas and AZ. So you ain't got to worry about Foxy getting pulled into this, because that was a lie. She was doing the show with Keith Sweat, with Nas and AZ. Another lie. Why you think Foxy ain't never say nothing like or been worried about it? Foxy wasn't even there, bro. Remember Keefe D said that Big Meech was in the car with them too? In the van with them? He changed that story up too, right? Foxy was not there. All that was a lie. Now, why do y'all think all these lies are being told? Who you think they covering up for so the city don't get sued? Matter of fact, that was it. Not even it wasn't Mississippi, it was Michigan. That she was performing at the Palace in Auburn Hills in Michigan. Shout out to everybody in Michigan. Shout out to all my Detroit people. She performed at the Palace in Auburn Hills in Michigan. And that was the Keefe Sweat Tour. And for you, if you're not familiar with Michigan, this is the venue right here. This is where Foxy was at on that date. September 7th, 1996, with Nas and AZ. Okay? This is Michigan, not Vegas. And if Foxy was out there, you would have seen pictures of her, video, interview, somebody. You look it up, talking about where's the show footage. You look it up. Where's the footage of her at the Tyson fight? Bishop, show us the footage of her at the Tyson fight. She talking about she could have been on the bill, but was no show. Well, show us show her at the Tyson fight. Smart ass. Anyway, Orlando Anderson went to the hospital after the fight at Sunrise Medical Center in Vegas. They say the shooter was left-handed. Orlando was a right-handed man. But three of the cops that worked for Reggie allegedly were left-handed. And Orlando Anderson was on video at the lobby bar in the MGM casino at the time of the shooting. So do your own research. But know that the shooter was left-handed. Okay? And Orlando was right-handed. And his shoulder was kicked out the socket. And know that they was following and tailing him, and they got caught on video, allegedly, right? What do you got to say? So let your boy keep lying. Let your boy keep lying. We'll see what happened. Choke no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. I see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, East Coast. When I'm on the west, then I'm doing my thing. Don't offer me coke, or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, gotta love life and offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the East, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the ass. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful, show you around the East Coast. Both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzis playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all let's connect. Rather East Coast it that we connect. You know what it is. Choke no joke, learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either war, we here now. You know what it is.
Choke no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah now.
Choke no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah. This what ATL in New York sound like. Let's go. Y'all hating ass niggas, I see y'all. Choke get busy, that's why I got the crown. Hate in the air. You clowns, I see the envy that you breed, jealousy. What you need is your own damn hustle. Stop worrying about mine. Nigga, I'm popping cause I put in time. Came out modeling, camera in hand. Still get busy with the mic in hand. Streets pulled out, niggas got sprayed. Niggas turn on you when they see you get paid. The intimidation in your face. Where's the love? What's taking place? You want my gold and my ducats, cause my money overflowing out of buckets. Shot him in public, made people holler. Scar on his face for the money and the power. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the game had me fooled, got in, was young. Thought talent made you rich, damn was dumb. More to make, cake from crumbs. You gotta be sweet, G or native tongue. My heartbeat went into overload. When Larry tried to turn me into a mole, told me show my curly to the CEO. I didn't think it's funny, so his jaw hit the floor and grabbed that chair that broke his back. Then realized that's a hate attack. Harassment comes assault, you in the maze. No way out, like Puff and Mace. Touch me, tease me, I catch a case. Nigga, you ain't straight as your poker face. Father law God, in that game I fold. This sun don't tick, demon time don't hold. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. On the ones and twos, chokester. What y'all want to do? I'm here now. Eden Wall, stand up. Shout out to the bomb squad.
Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke them